Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Tuesday, November 10th. And 40 years ago today was the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and 29 people lost their lives as that sank over eastern Lake Superior on its way from Hancock to Cleveland with iron ore. It was also 40 years ago today that I had got my really first decent weather station. My brother, who began working here at the elevator for a brief time before going into the military, got me a real nice weather setup. And again, that was 40 years ago. And if we look at the weather map for today, almost on cue, gale watch is up across the Great Lakes beginning for Wednesday night into Thursday night. And they could see winds over the lakes between 50 to 60 mile an hour or greater as that storm heads up into Wisconsin towards the Straits area. And for us across the inland areas across the MAC, looks like winds Wednesday night and Thursday could be in a 25 to 35 mile per hour winds with gusts between 45 to as much as 60 miles an hour, especially as you get closer to Lake Michigan. So don't be surprised to see some power outages across the lower peninsula as we get into the day on Thursday. And if we look at the current weather map, you can see temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s across the area. You can see we talked about an upper level wave that would move rapidly from Oklahoma yesterday on, and it's all the way up into the Great Lakes already. You can see it's spreading precipitation more than we thought. We thought we'd be well under a tenth, but you can see certainly we've outdid that with several areas now over a tenth of an inch of rain, and that rain continues to try to spread north into the eastern part of the state. Again, mainly from around Saginaw Bay to South Haven and off to the southeast, as we talked about yesterday. And you can see that on radar as that activity has moved into especially the southeast part of lower Michigan. A renegade shower, that's the one that went through to Middleton, bringing a pretty good shower there, dropping about a tenth and a half an inch of rain this morning. You can see on the National Weather Watch map all the high wind watches and advisories, and even some of the winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings. And look at this over in northeast and eastern parts of Colorado. Blizzard watches, blizzard warnings, and yes, even in western Kansas, Goodland, you're under a blizzard warning. So a very significant storm, again, heading for the Great Lakes here over the next couple of days. And you can see on the weather map today, high pressure will begin to move in and push that showers this morning out of the area. We'll have improving conditions later today. I still think we're going to see a lot of clouds, but I also think some of the areas could see a little break and some peaks of sunshine today. And again, as that high pressure system moves off to the east, we'll have a nice day on Wednesday, at least for most of the day. We'll start off with plenty of sunshine, temperatures around 50, 55 degrees. And then this storm that'll be coming in from the west is going to really create a lot of havoc here as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday. By Thursday morning at 7 a.m., you can see a 985 millibar low, or about 29 inches of mercury over portions of northeast Wisconsin heading towards the Straits. And again, the occluded front coming through, our best chance of rain will be just out ahead of that front and immediately behind it as we get some pretty gusty showers. Any of the showers out ahead of this, or even a thunderstorm, could mix down some of them gusty winds that are about 65 miles an hour off the surface, a couple thousand feet. And again, if we get a thunderstorm, it could mix those winds down. So we could see some isolated reports of severe wind damage across the area out ahead of this front. And we'll certainly keep an eye on things here over the next 24 hours to see how this storm develops. But they've been pretty consistent on the models, so it's going to be a pretty good storm. And you can see the wind gusts, according to the latest 6Z run of the GFS, shows a lot of 50 to 55 knot winds over the lake, and that would be about 60, 65 miles per hour. And across inland areas between 45 and 50 knot winds, or about 50 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts, certainly are very possible as we go through late Wednesday night, but especially in the early Thursday morning through Thursday afternoon time period. It'll still continue to be windy, just not as windy as we get into Friday. And behind that storm, we could even see some rain showers and snow showers take over. And you can see as far as precipitation from this next system, about 3 to 6 tenths on average across the area. Of course, if you get a thunder shower, you could get more heavier rains back across the northwest into the western end of the UP, where they can see over an inch. But another significant storm could be heading this way for the middle of next week, and it could be a pretty wet one. And you can see on the 10-day forecast, precipitation off the GFS, many areas across lower Michigan will be between 2 and 3 inches of rain. So again, another pretty good storm by the middle of next week, and we'll focus on that as we get towards the weekend, get this storm here out of the way. And as far as that storm for later next week, you can see a very similar setup as this one. High pressure off to the east, a more wide open Gulf though this time, and that'll pull that moisture up ahead of a strong storm that'll move towards the Great Lakes again. And again, we'll focus on the details a little bit more here over the coming days. As far as temperatures and precipitation, here over the next 6 to 10 days, warmer than normal and near to slightly above normal across the Great Lakes. But as we get into the 8 to 14 day outlook, which will include that midweek storm next week, you can see the center of the warm conditions will be across the Great Lakes and above normal precipitation from the Gulf to the Great Lakes, including actually much of the lower 48. Thanks for stopping by and have a great day, and 73s to all.